Trump want to deport U.S. citizens now too? Born here, it doesn't matter to him. He said get them the hell out of here, even if they're American. What he said might be unconstitutional, y'all. If you had a feeling talks like this might have happened, drop a 1 in the comments.
We also have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time. People that whack people over the head with a baseball bat from behind when they're not looking and kill them. People that knife you when you're walking down the street. They're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together.
Now I know some people gonna be like, well, they're criminals, so they deserve that. You're missing the point. The point is, if he's able to do that, everything else that's unconstitutional wouldn't matter either. It's just gonna slowly trickle away to where he can do whatever he want. So we can't let that happen. Y'all know the ones he might go for, y'all. Leave it down below in the comments who you think I'm talking about. This shit is crazy.
Okay, so this is our first look at Alligator Alcatraz on the inside. This thing was built in 8 days. This is insane. This is where they're going to be housing people out in the middle of the Everglades. There are so many different venomous snakes that can get to you in this type of a facility if you're out there. And if you get out, there's nowhere to go. You're alligator bait, homie. Everything out there wants to kill you. I'm just gonna say this, if it was me and I was putting myself in a situation where I might end up in this place, if you gave me a choice between Alligator Alcatraz, ADX Florence, the Black Dolphin in Russia, the Seacot Super Prison, I'm choosing anywhere but here, homie. And they built this out of a parking lot in 8 days flat. Nothing like that has ever been done before. What do y'all think about this place? Let me know down in the comments.
Well, breaking fuck the news as Donald Trump tours the grand opening of Alligator Auschwitz. He also floats the idea in Florida after the big beautiful bill has passed Senate 51-50. He floats the idea that American-born citizens who commit heinous acts can also be deported. We should look into deporting American-born citizens who commit heinous acts. And in the same sense, he said people who hit people over the head with baseball bats and other crimes should be sent somewhere else. Welcome to the Fourth Reich.
Trump is now calling for the deportation of American citizens. This is very serious and an escalation from his original premise of he claimed that he focused on deporting immigrants with criminal records.
I'd like to say, a little controversial, but I couldn't care less. We have a lot of bad criminals that came into this country, and they came in stupidly. It was an unforced error. A lot of bad people that have been here for a long time. People that whack people over the head with a baseball bat from behind when they're not looking and kill them. People that knife you when you're walking down the street. They're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together. But I think getting them out, we forget about them. We had some bad accidents in New York, and they're not accidents.
The messaging behind this statement is one that Trump's administration has done since they started office when it comes to illegal immigrants, migration, and criminals and how they're violent. But the escalation to actual citizens, people who are born here, who are citizens, coupled with the instructions given to the DOJ to denaturalize and revoke citizenship from actual citizens, is a scary escalation in this whole migrant immigration thing that Trump is doing. Now we have to ask ourselves, is any criminal, period, American citizen or not, subject to be deported to Guantanamo Bay or be put in a migrant camp? This sounds eerily familiar as other times in our history where people have been rounded up and put in camps for looking a certain way, holding certain beliefs, or not being the type of person that they want in their regime.
So the president has come out and stated that he wants to deport United States citizens. That's right, folks. U.S. citizens that have broken the law, violent crimes, things of that nature. These citizens are still protected by the United States Constitution. And he want to deport them. These folks can trace their ancestry back by like 200 years. But you want to deport them? Where are you going to deport them to? I mean, people have to have a place of origin to be deported back to. So where are you going to deport them if they were born, raised here in the United States of America? It makes no sense to me at all. But he came out and he stated that. He stated that that's going to be their next task, to start deporting United States citizens, or try to start deporting United States citizens, because we all know that the Constitution clearly protects every United States citizen from this type of action. But hey, we've seen things happen that we didn't think would happen. But I guess we'll just wait to see what happened. But it's unbelievable, completely unbelievable.
Donald Trump is calling to deport U.S. citizens who were born here. Yep, out loud, he said that maybe it's time to get rid of some of the people who were born here. Now, he's referring to criminals and people who do very bad things. I guess that doesn't apply to 34 felonies. But yes, that is where we're at here in the U.S. today. We have a president calling for the deportation of U.S. citizens. This comes on the heels of him visiting a migrant detention center in the Everglades that is referred to as Alligator Alcatraz, where he has said that the alligators can do their job and deal with any escapees. If that is not cruel and unusual punishment, I don't know what is. So this is what we're dealing with here in the US. We have a completely unhinged president who does not care about the Constitution whatsoever. And we are only in the first year.
Can Trump deport Black American citizens? The answer is no, not lawfully, because we're citizens. But if you ask whether he can unlawfully deport Black Americans, the answer is yes, because the Supreme Court just took away lower courts' ability to stop him. And if you don't believe me, let me show you how this became real after the Trump v. Casa birthright citizenship case. So in Trump v. Casa, the Supreme Court ruled that federal judges cannot issue nationwide injunctions or universal injunctions against Trump executive orders except with class action lawsuits. And those can take a while to be certified, those class action lawsuits. That means even if Trump signs an unconstitutional, unlawful executive order, judges can only protect the people who are named in the lawsuit or members of the certified class action lawsuit. Everyone else, they're vulnerable. Even if what Trump does is blatantly unconstitutional or illegal. So, can Trump deport Black American citizens lawfully? No. But that's not the question anymore, because he doesn't need to act lawfully if there are no judges that can stop him. In fact, Justice Jackson warned, she said in her dissent, quote, "The executive can now deny people rights that the founders plainly wrote into our Constitution, so long as those individuals have not found a lawyer." And Justice Sotomayor said, quote, "No right is safe in the new legal regime the court creates," close quote. She said no right, that means no citizenship right, no civil right, no voting rights, etc. Folks, that's not theory. That's not me pontificating. That's the reality that we're living in now. Additionally, back in March, Trump told El Salvador's president he would be deporting homegrown criminals. He didn't say immigrants. He said homegrown. That means people born in the United States. So if he targets Black Americans as criminals or gangbangers or threats or enemies, etc., what's stopping him from issuing an executive order to detain or to deport those people? Nothing. That puts Black Americans and any other targeted group in danger. This is why they say elections have consequences, folks. So remember, stay woke.
president just called for the deportation of American-born citizens, and I want to be so clear, that's not deportation, that's human trafficking. The word deport means to expel a foreign entity to their country of origin because they violated some term of entry. You can't deport someone to a different country. This is their country of origin. That's not deportation, it's human trafficking. Language is always important. I say that all the time, but especially here, we need to call things as they are. This is human trafficking. It is not deportation. You cannot deport people to a foreign prison in a country they're not from. That's human trafficking. These detention centers, they're not detention centers. That's such a little fluffed up way to say concentration camp, death camp. The president said he hopes they get eaten by alligators. They're in cages. These are concentration camps. They are human trafficking. Call it as it is. Also, see Rachel Cohen. I'll tag her below. She has a lot on this topic and where this can go. And she's also a lawyer and much smarter than me, and I trust her with my life. So go see her videos on this topic, but don't call it deportation. Call it as it is. Call it human trafficking.
We have some breaking news. Donald Trump is calling for deportation of American citizens. Yes, you heard it correctly. American citizens. Donald Trump recently was speaking in Florida when he made this comment. He stated that he wants to deport American citizens. He stated that we have a lot of bad people here in the United States. People that have been here for a very long time. Many of them were born here. And I think it's time for us to get them the hell on out of here. He finishes by saying, if you want to know the truth, and maybe that will be the next job. Trump referring to American citizens who commit violent acts. So pretty much he also wants to deport people that are throwing bricks at other people in the head. All that crazy stuff. If you're an American citizen, he wants to deport you. Let's keep in mind that every American citizen is eligible for due process under the United States law. And if convicted, they're going to serve time in the United States facilities. They're not allowed to pretty much be deported. The number one comment was deportation is when you send someone back to the country of birth. Sending an American citizen to a third country is called trafficking. Let me know what you guys think about that. If you guys agree, let me know in the comments. And like always, don't forget to follow for more viral news. Ciao, pescado.